Thank you, Michael. As chairman of the MGA's Distinguished Service Award Committee, it's an incredible honor for me to get to introduce this year's winner. As you might expect, our committee considers lots of really terrific people, really talented people for this award. When we look at the list of names and we think about the possible honorees every year, there's really two important qualities that come through every time. The first one is somebody who's got direct ties to the game, and particularly direct ties to the clubs in the metropolitan area. And second, someone who's incredibly passionate about the game and expresses and channels that passion back into the game, and particularly locally. When you think about those two criteria, I'm not sure we could come up with a better person than Jimmy Roberts. In the recent Met Golfer, I'm sure you all read, the great quote from Jimmy is, "I'm a 914 guy." And he truly is. He grew up in Westchester County. He learned the game as a caddy at nearby Fenway, Westchester Hills, Ridgeway, and of course here at Westchester Country Club. Right after high school, he cut his teeth as a reporter working for the local paper, the Herald-Statesman in Yonkers, doing his first reporting assignments for the old tee to green section in the local golf days. As he's continued his ties throughout this area his entire career, he's raised his family here. He's a proud member here in Westchester. In fact, lives in Rye right down the road. Obviously, Jimmy's career as a journalist, broadcaster, and commentator is well documented. For more than 30 years, he's covered sports all over the world, including 19 Olympics, Super Bowls, NBA Finals, the Masters, and my favorite, the World Chess Championship. And for his incredible body of work, he's been honored on many occasions. He's accumulated 13 Emmys and has had earned countless other awards and honors. While we all know he's covered the spectrum of sports, if you look closely at his work, I think you'd agree with me that there's a special passion for golf. It comes out in his broadcasts, in his writing, in his thoughtful commentary on the game, and certainly Jimmy's become one of the game's best interviewers. Whether he's talking golf with a former president, or a king or a bear, he's thoughtful, he's probing, he's insightful, but at the same time, he's diplomatic and tactful. He's earned the respect of his colleagues and the trust of the game's top players. It's not easy to do. When they're across the microphone from him, they know they'll be treated fairly and honestly. While his NBC and Golf Channel duties take him on the road a lot into all corners of the world, I think one of the things that really stood out for our committee was he's never wavered in his commitment to his ties to the Met area. Giving back just seems to be part of Jimmy's DNA. Whenever the MGA asks, or in fact any local organization asks for his help, whether it's speaking at a dinner for the 50th anniversary of the WGA Caddy Scholarship Dinner, or a voiceover for a training video for us, or writing for the Met Golfer, which in fact he's done since 2003, serving on the board of the Met Golf Writers, or helping with a Met PGA educational seminar. His answer's always been the same, a quick yes, what can I do to help? So Jimmy, for all the work that you've done, for always saying yes when we asked you to get back to the game, it's my honor to ask Mike to join me to present you with the MGA's highest honor, the 2016 Distinguished Service Award.
That's always my first move, is to bring the microphone in. Let me first say that you don't want to be in the enviable position of following Gina McCooey, who, those of us who know her, love her and appreciate her. So I want to say thank you to you for all you've done for so many years for the MGA. And of course, first and foremost, to the MGA, all of you who do so much for making golf great for so many of us, even if we're not plus sixes. It's really good to see so many of my friends here tonight, and I'm just so shocked and flattered. A number of people in the cocktail hour and earlier in dinner had told me that they were looking forward to my remarks, and I have to admit I've made a terrible mistake. I didn't have Father James write them for me, so I'm sorry for that right off the bat. But I would like to congratulate Stuart. I think what you did this year was just extraordinary. And 4 down with 5 to play in the mid-amateur and he wins. It's so impressive. I do have one question for you. So that 17th hole is 237 yards and you hit a 5-iron? Where can I get that club? I don't think it would matter, obviously. Stuart, congratulations on a fantastic year, and all the best of luck to you. Well-deserved award. I'm going to be brief, which for those of you who know me is probably hard to believe. Kind of shocked when I got the letter from Jeff. I was certain that he had made the decision because, or those of the committee who had made the decision probably was comprised of a bunch of people who had never seen me play golf before. But I do love the game, and I'm so grateful for this. And once again, something that those who know me probably have not heard me say very often. I have no idea what to say about this. This is so meaningful to me for so many reasons. Our little corner of the golf world is really the home of American golf. And as Jeff mentioned, I was raised here, born and raised in White Plains. I've lived in Rye for 20 years. Before that, in the city for 15 years. You know, you all know the facts. The PGA of America was founded here. The first PGA championship was here. The oldest golf club in America is here. 32 major championships in our section. Golf goes back a long, long way around here. The game matters around here. And it's probably a line that I'm going to wear around my neck for a long time, but this isn't only where I live. As you mentioned, I grew up here. I learned the game here. I caddied here. Had my first job writing about golf here and other things. And I truly am a 914 guy, and I always will be, and I'm very proud of that. So I know what golf means around here, and that's why this is truly special to me. But there's something else. When I was told about this award, after I caught my breath, the first thing I did was to go online and look at the names of some of the other people who'd won the award previously. And it was not only people who'd made just a tremendous difference in the game for so many other people, but giants of the game and friends of mine and personal heroes. Guido Crabari, and I don't know how many of you remember him. He was my first boss. To think that my name is in a category with his, I think he'd be laughing right now, but I know he'd be proud. My dear friend David Fay, who called me to say that he couldn't be here tonight, but I just can't believe that my name sits next to his. Dave Anderson, my goodness, Harry Cooper. This is just such an incredible honor for me, and I want to thank you all so much. Just so meaningful. I am so lucky to have stumbled upon the game so many years ago, if for no other reason than the amazing people that it's introduced me to. I tell my wife all the time that one of the best things about golf is not only that it's a game, and not only that it's played in beautiful places, but you get to go away for 4 hours and you get to spend time with people that you really, really like. Where can you do that these days? It's just the best thing there is. And I think about the people that I've met through the game and how extraordinary they are. Tom Cousins, who's a personal hero of mine, from Atlanta how much he's done not only for the game of golf, but for this country and for people who aren't as fortunate as he is. I can't believe I'm saying this in front of a microphone to more than just one person, but Arnold Palmer was my friend. I'm such a fortunate person. John Kennedy, the late Jules Alexander, the list goes on of the many, many extraordinary people that this game has introduced me to. There are so many friends who I see here tonight, and it warms my heart that they've come to celebrate this night with me. I just can't believe it. I want to thank my parents, first and foremost, who introduced me to the game and gave me the opportunity to play. I want to thank my family, who tolerated my obsession. I want to thank all of the many PGA professionals who have dedicated themselves to helping make this game enjoyable for so many other people, and also the great people who work in the Golf Course Superintendents Association to make these places so wonderful for all of us to enjoy. Thank you so much. I am grateful for the community that I have found at wonderful places like Westchester Country Club and at Hudson National. I didn't see this coming, but it's the most wonderful blindside surprise that I have ever had. I'm humbled, I am honored, and I am thrilled. And as I said, I'm a fortunate man. I've traveled the world and I've heard so many things about this great game, but I want to just leave you with one story. That's one of my favorites that my friend Tim Rittenhouse insisted that I tell tonight. I thought I would spare you this story, but I guess I can't. It goes back to the late 1980s. Perhaps some of you have heard this story. It involves the great golfer Seve Ballesteros. Seve was playing in a charity match in the Netherlands with Tony Johnstone, who's from Zimbabwe. And these two fellows, if you know them, they couldn't be any more opposite. Seve, the hard-boiled competitor, Johnstone, the jokester. But this is just a charity match, just the two of them playing. As it happens, they're all square through 16 holes. The 17th hole is a par 4, straight away, blind tee shot up over a hill. They both hit their tee balls, and Johnstone takes off walking first, and Seve's trailing. And Seve gets to the top of the hill, and he sees Johnstone standing there with his hands on his hips and looking down at a ball right in the middle of the fairway, which is right next to a sprinkler head. And Johnstone says, Seve, come here, take a look at this. He says, I'm relieved, correct? And Seve comes over and looks at it. Seve, who might as well have been playing Sunday singles at the Ryder Cup instead of a charity match. He looks at the ball and he says, no. And Johnstone is irate. He says to him, Seve, are you kidding me? He says, we've spent all afternoon out here for charity. What are you thinking about? Relief? He says, no. You must play the ball as it lies. Johnstone shakes his head, looks at Seve, and he walks away and he says, you know, my friend, that's too bad, because it's your ball. Anyway, that's a true story, and I just want to say once again, I am so thrilled by this honor to join such a great group of people and to be honored by an organization which has done so much for so many people. Thank you so much.